Florentine. We're gonna go through basic stance and teach you like basic body mechanics and a few shots here and there, so you guys will just be familiarized with it. Can you take off?
Okay, fine. So yeah, basically, this is just basics. You know, advanced is just basics done really well, as Sir Thor says. So basically, let's just get in our stances and see what you got. Pretty much what you want to do is you want to have your center of gravity, all right? And you want to be able to be on your toes. Okay.
You want to be natural
because you don't want to be crouching so far down
have the balls of your feet
that all you got, you know.
Because that way,
yeah, exactly.
You're like this.
You know, you don't want to look like you're taking a dump in the middle of the field. Right? And you don't want to be too far forward on your front leg. Right? So all your center of balance is in front. You don't want to be too far on the back leg, so that your heel is touching on the ground in the back. Right? You want to have it somewhere in the middle where it's just comfortable for you. Somewhere where you can just move around, take steps forward and back. Right? It's just somewhere where it's nice and easy. Now, how you hold your swords? I hold mine with the thumb going up the length of the handle. Right? I think of it as the tip of my sword is going to go where I point my thumb. So if I'm throwing over here, I'm pointing my thumb over here. When I want to get that wrap, I just turn my wrist and point my thumb that way. I got the wrap. So wherever you're pointing the tip of your thumb is where the tip of your sword is going to go.
When you have the stance like this, remember when you're actually having your foot forward, it's good to have your primary hand forward that you're going to be striking with, or right hand, right foot, because if you were this way, it'd be kind of awkward. Okay, and then you're also changing lanes in between you and the fighter, and you want to keep your swords. The best way is to keep them forward, not like this, not like crossed over. Many people try to. That doesn't really work.
You also don't want to have your shoulders square. You don't want to square off against your opponent. So like if you have your stance like this, and I'm facing again, right? Both my shoulders are facing towards him, right? I usually want to have whatever foot's forward, I want that shoulder forward, right? That's most comfortable. That's the easiest. On your stance, Coach from down south was talking about balance, right? He always has his knee behind his toes, right? So you don't want your knee in front of your toes, otherwise your whole balance is going forward, right? Same with behind the back of your heel. If your knee's behind the back of your heel, all your weight's in the back. Florentine is the most aggressive style in fighting. The flip side of that is it has the least amount of defense. So you have to be willing to move, right? You get a lot of defense from just the one step back, right? Because I got my right leg forward, right sword forward, someone's coming at me, I just take that one step back, now there's 3 feet between us.
You're also changing where this positions of the swords block out more of the inside and the outside. If someone's coming from the side, you're both blocking out the center lane. It takes that step backwards. Whereas forward, they had access to the inner lane. He takes that step backwards. Now he has even more defense right here. So he's actually blocking out that end for up here that they have to go on the outside. Unless they push it.
I hope I can hear this.
Can't hear any of this.
I hope the camera gets it.
When you go for stance-wise, as Duke pointed out, when you have up there, swords out there and forward in front of you, most people are trying to mirror match. So if they're fighting with their primary hand forward and you're doing this, you're also shutting down lane to lane again. Because again, the outside strikes, you'll be able to block them out easy with motion. Whereas the inside strikes, you still have this one. But remember, this is the primary thing. If you're right-handed and you're more comfortable fighting right-handed like this, you want to actually try to switch it to your left a little bit more, because that way you're striking with this one coming back. You've got your primary focused hand on first. Here's it. Raise your hands if you're right-handed. Okay? Now drop that sword. Learn to fight with your left hand. It might be frustrating. It might be doing that. But on your left-handed fighting, when you go out there in the ditch field, fight a few times with your left hand, then switch it to the right so your confidence is still there. Because if you don't have your confidence, let's face it, if you die multiple times, your confidence is going to go down. But you want to practice these shots, and then you don't want to go for shoulders if you're still left gimpy.
That's how you learn though, by dying.
Yeah, you die, you want to go for chest and then lower quadrant most of the time. Don't try to take the legs because you want to be able to make that. You can get the legs. Most people prefer that, but I like to go for hip on up. And I go for pecs because if you throw with your left hand and you go up here, most often than not, you'll brain somebody, as we did before.
This is Simon Brain.
We'll go over some basic shots later, but one of the main things to remember is when you're practicing, whatever shot you're doing with your primary hand, say like you do 100 with your primary hand, right? Do 200 with your offhand. All right, you're building muscle memory. You're getting more comfortable with throwing those shots with your offhand as you are with your primary. So yeah, you're learning the shot placement and the speed with your right hand, and then you're learning control with your left hand. And eventually you'll have muscle memory where that will be comfortable where you get armed with your off arm. This will be fun. You want to go from here?
Okay, well, so you get primary hand, mirror matching a little bit, and you guys are going to be practicing on your left. Basic shot locations. Okay, so he's left-handed. I'm going up like this, okay? He's facing his right hand, sorry. He's shooting to the left, so I'm going here, and I'm going to be basically out here. And these shots from this location, as you can tell, put my sword straight out. There's not very many striking zones, so I have to actually scoot a little bit forward in order to try to get some bubble. These bubble points right here, personal bubble, spraying shoulders, you can say all sorts of things. But you want to be able to get certain shots on the inside when you're throwing these shots. So if he's facing out, we both have swords forward, my point is to try to get in there, but I still have a good defense. I got this full end, so if he strikes on that arm, I still have a good blocking area. On this end, I'm just trying to get in this side. A lot of people will go outside, but outside, usually he can just block out, and then I only have one sword to defend, and he's got two swords that can come right in if he steps in. So it's a good point where you're going against a person to mirror match a little bit to close these lanes down. I only highly encourage the mirror matching thing is because of that. That in your left hand, if you're right-handed, he's retarded. His right hand, he's pretty good with it now. I mean, him and sword knight. But I mean, he was probably pretty goofy with his right hand for quite a while. And as he said, repetitive motion, repetitive shots with that offhand will improve it. I learned a lot better when I broke my thumb on my right hand. And that was like 2 months of me recovering, and then I just didn't pick it up on my right hand afterwards. I just continued to fight with my left hand for about a year. And it improves your game tremendously.
If anybody wants your thumb broken, just call me.
Yo, however I did it. Have them sit on it. Anyway, you want to talk about shots or anything?
Where do you want to go with it?
Well, stances, we done on the stance all right. Some shots, you want to go from here?
Let's get everyone in their stance and see if we can give them some pointers on how they're standing.
Do you guys want to talk about inside-outside lanes?
We just did a little bit. Can you hear it?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, so pair up against each other real quick. There's no next question. Pair against him. No, go around and we'll tell you where the best thing is. Okay. So again, you're saying a little wide, but it's okay. You want to relax. Sing. You're too far in here. You want to be able to, when you're fighting against him, be able to move all the balls your feet. So, because if you're pushing forward like this, you're inviting him to do that, and you're slower to back out. Well, it's comfortable. It has to be comfortable to you, man. It's like, if I'm standing around doing this, like, then I can move around a lot more. Once he's aggressive when he fights against you, he'll step forward and hit that. Now, what would you do from there? You want to back up and block. Because you don't have control. If you do, if he dresses yourself, you take that step back and you'd be able to block that shot and then still have a lane. But if he pushes again, you have an extra shot on it. See?
He's almost stepping into it.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that with just small little pickup shots. Yeah.
So from here I can see the forearm.
Right.
And that's I don't know if you want to bait with that or just, that's an easy block.
I suck at blow. I mean, it's just this is fight down stick.
I mostly fight with my left right forward.
Okay.
So actually, how I'm standing right now, all my weight is on my front foot. That's,
Right, you're forward.
yeah, that's where I'm going.
I'm center right now.
So this, with all my weight on my front forward, all I can do is come forward.
Right. So from there, I can just slide it back and just come in.
Yeah, just by the way I'm standing, you can tell whether a person's coming aggressively or defensively.
Why is this blurry?
I'm sure they're mostly going to be here.
Right.
And it's surprising on how much range that step can
Yeah. It gives you quite a bit.
I'm going to walk around. So when you were standing there, you had a really low stance, and you were giving a lot of reach out with this arm. You're pretty much saying, "Hit me on my right side." Right? And he did. Yes. So try not to hold your weapons like this.
Yeah, they're only in one plane.
Yeah. Cock them up like this at 45.
Don't go like that.
You have a little bit more protection this way. And when it comes to hit you on your right side, it's just a push out, like punching the sword. It's just out and then push you down. All your weight is on your front foot. Try to get your weight balanced between your feet. You're bending your knees a little too much. You're getting too much weight on your front foot where you can't, when it comes at you, you can't go anywhere.
What?
Clamp the arm.
So you want to be a little...
Clamp the arm. 2 shots on the same arm. 2 shots on the same arm. Yes. Yes. Newbies.
Remember, it's not a 2D game. It's not friggin' like Street Fighter. You're not gonna go straight. You want to be able to take advantage of it by taking that little step from your back foot. So I'm gonna go. Of course, you don't want to slip. I slip. But you basically want to be over there and jump to get that, and you still have a good defense. So your stances have to be relaxed. His was more relaxed at that point, so you're waiting for you to come in. And you were being aggressive. So you're gonna watch for those lanes and those move around, especially for your stance. You get Taka? When you're facing him against somebody, you guys. Now I'm facing you like this. Why are you facing them? Yeah, there we go. So now we've pretty much boxed out the inside. Outside, inside. We both have equal footing. If I had boxed you against this, I would be inside. So I'd be coming in for these handles. Your stance is pretty fine. You got it because you're a taller guy. Yeah. Take a step back farther.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that.
Normally,
I end up getting in a weird, almost like cocky goalie.
it's good
With my
because you
knees
keep
in.
your bends a little
Yeah.
bend and you keep on the balls of your feet. The thing about that is you use your height for a little more advantage because you are taller than 90% of people out there. So you'll probably be coming down a lot.
Yeah.
You
A lot
want
of
to
my
throw.
shots come from the top.
Yeah, you don't want to break that habit. Okay. And you want to start throwing towards the pot.
All right.
Because you're used to throwing.
Oh yeah, I'm used to. I'm used to shorting down. So
Yeah. So when you're throwing that, boom, boom, and
I
you're
was
throwing
late.
with your right hand, right? Yep. Okay. So if you're stancing against me and I'm right
I don't know
handed,
if
you're
you noticed, but it was here when
I'm
I
gonna switch.
extended.
I want to switch to this. All right. So block in and out, right?
Yep.
Now, if you take aggressive step forward, I'm going to be doing this. Now, notice how the sword switched for lane defense.
right.
Okay. Now I'm going to basically be going from here. The thing about it is you're taller than me, so I want to keep not too far away when I back up.
Right.
Due to one reason, because you're taller and I have to get in the inside lane. Right. So I'll be going for that and then still have somewhat of a defense
Yeah,
because I won't throw too hard or too far. Because if you overextend yourself,
Right.
you've got several shots on you.
Yeah.
I just recommend that you practice with throwing with your left hand a lot more. Throw towards the body, and then when you finally get comfortable with it, go for the shoulders or for right hand. But you want to throw for this quadrant right here. You never want to throw for here because it can be blown off as a head shot, neck shot, or otherwise. And
I find that a lot too. So also when I'm throwing for there, I end up missing outside.
Because they'll bring the sword back like this, and they'll hit the outside. And like, oh, it's an arm.
Exactly.
And they go inside.
I'm trying to throw.
On my throw right around here. Remember the secret sword class?
Exactly.
Throwing right in that quadrant.
You guys are saying just coming right in there, not on the shoulder. But
So when you throw a wrap, do you throw a wrap with your arm or do you throw it with your wrist?
when I throw a wrap, it's
Just snapping the wrist?
yeah.
You're going to use the forearm. You're going to use the forearm more than your shots. So if I'm throwing a wrap, I'm using basically just twisting my arm, using the forearm for a shot.
Okay.
Because with the wrist, you might throw it out. And also when I'm here and you block out, it's going to hurt.
I mean, that makes more sense coming to this side. I see that, but when I'm coming, because usually I'm closing in on someone.
Exactly, but you go for height.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So using your height is a good thing. You want to use that to your advantage at certain points, but when you want to learn more about throwing with your left hand, you want to throw a little bit lower. And you want to do that with your right hand, so your left hand will also remember it too.
Okay.
So try to throw for the lower quadrant a lot more.
So more
Because
pressure.
because if you're throwing, oh, I take the arm, but you killed.
Right.
So if I was up top and you throw, oh no, I mean, I try to power through.
So I need to be throwing more.
So I won't. I also choke up my swords when I play.
Okay.
I choke them up so I have the pommel right here. So if you hit the pommel down there, you can't get the wrist. It's usually marking off right there. So you hit, it's going to hit here, and I can defend it easy.
I'm usually dominant hand down and then more mid on the off.
Right, it's just more your grip style and what's more comfortable for you in the long run. But again, try to shoot for lower quadrant, around middle area.
Okay.
So, and then second one for hips. And then outside arms or inside ribs. A lot more, especially with your
Just
dead.
keeping it within.
Especially with your dead hand.
Yeah.
I go with dead hand because it's
Going for that hip and I'm trying not to get the dick.
Hi, boss.
Oh yeah.
nicely done. Yep. You got the arm?
Oh yeah, because it gets down to this left hand.
You got the arm here. Sorry.
Maybe I did.
You're completely disengaged. My problem is, I bring my block out. That's time when I'm disengaging. I'm expecting this.
Okay,
With my left hand.
right, so it's coming down and then.
Yeah, oh here, I'll show you. Throw it. See, as it comes down like that. Okay. So you're using the sword almost as a guide.
Yeah, just
So I have it angled, but I want to push it so I can block it. But if you can get it fast enough, there, you've nailed it right there. See? And all I do, I have to extend or move back or recess my hand a little bit, my arm and shoulder. Because when you're doing a wrap shot, the best way to defend it against is not move the whole damn sword, is to recess your shoulder just a little bit to block it, and or twist a little bit to the arm.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that. So with the left hand, again, you're going to be striking down on the sword using it. And I'm still in defense.
Yeah.
I'm still
yeah, you just
good
slide back.
defense. There's a little snipe thing you want to work on.
You shoot and reset right back in the set.
Yeah, exactly. Just boom, and right there. If it's easy, you can put it up against a dog or a single person and do that. Here. Switch opponents.
Go get an opponent.
I don't fight Daniel ever.
Again, you can be alone.
All right, go practice some of those shots and then some of those slot shots.
Be fat, that's for better.
Good stab.
I was thinking
Again, work in a group of three. Find a group of three.
I was thinking about it for a second too.
I was showing him over there, shot slots. I go here, there. Okay. That was an inside arm. for inside right here. So with your left hand, you're going to try to do that and use this guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Straight down. So it's basically, I know, because you'll go crooked at the top. Just use that as a kind of a guide on this one. Its angle. Because all left shots are going to be frustrating. Good. As long as you want to get it right around here. Because you want to stop it. You want to still have the defense. Because when I'm throwing here, okay, so I'm throwing here, right? I'm still hitting here, but I have more of a defense. So I'm throwing left hand. This is my left hand. Okay, so I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go. Yeah. And then I still have this sort here. And you just had a kid, so you know. Anyway, okay, go through basic shots. Go ahead.
Right-handed, left-handed. All right. Right-handed, one of the easier shots is the forearm clip. Right. You're not stepping too far out, and if their arm is sticking out, like Steele's is right now, it's not necessarily chicken wing because his elbows aren't sticking out, but I can see the top of his forearm. If I can, for me, if I can see it, I can hit it. And that's the mentality I have. If I can see it, I can hit it, and all I have to do is point my thumb at it, and I'll hit it. And it's just right there. All right, and I can hit that all day long. And all I'm doing when I throw that shot is I'm bent, got my defense down. All I'm doing is straightening my right leg just a little bit, or my left leg, I should say, push me a little bit forward, and getting my extension out, and just bam.
He also has a good defense on solid inside, so if I do recess my shoulder to block it, because you only have to do is for a wrap like that on my forearm, is recess it, and I go to throw here, he still has a great defense. So I can't get the outside, and I have to go inside, and then he still has a good defense with that.
He's already back to one.
Yeah, so he's already making back to the position you were blocking. So if I recess my shoulder when he throws that shot, go ahead. Like this, and all I'm doing is recessing the shoulder just a little bit. See? The wraps aren't going to get there because I'm going to recess the shoulder just enough. He's hitting right here almost every time.
So have gloves.
Yeah, gloves are good.
Gloves are
Unless you're a mutant like Sir Robin.
And I do suggest that if you want to fight with gloves, practice with gloves. Right?
Don't get the hockey gloves, please.
Hey, excuse me. Excuse me.
I mean, you can cut off the pieces on it for hockey gloves, but then again, you're relying more on the glove for the block than your actual skill for the block. And it's good, I mean, if you really want to, and that's the only thing you can afford or get at the time. But try to get some MMA gloves. I don't know what